Hello. Today, as requested by the VCR Shack, I will compare my Sanyo and Sony VCRs. Plus I will compare my Sony SLV 686HF also. Now let's see the front of the three VCRs. Here is the first one. It is a Sanyo VHR H628. And the other one, it is a Sony SLV 779HF. And finally, the third one is a Sony SLV 686HF. It is my favorite VCR in my collection because I find this mechanism to be very interesting because it has a pinch roller that goes up and down, and it has two separated motors, so you'll see later the mechanism. This one is a 90s, early 90s Sony. This one is a late 90s Sony. And this one is a mid 90s Sanyo. So now let's start with the Sanyo. Let's take a cassette and put it in the Sanyo VCR. Let's see the mechanism. You see the mechanism, it's interesting. It has a pinch roller that moves up and down. Now let's press play. You see that the picture of Mario Kart Double Dash is correct. It is good. The picture quality is good on the Sanyo VCR. So now let's eject. As you can hear, these Sanyos have a noisy mechanism. So you see this Sony VCR has a button problems because now I pressed play and the VCR thought I had pressed fast forward, so there is a button problem. So now let's try to press play again. Now he detected that I pressed play. So you see it turns well and the picture quality is good, but now it's not plugged to the TV. But now let's eject the cassette. This VCR sometimes, as I said, it has button problems, but sometimes when I press eject, the VCR think I have pressed record, so we have to be careful about this. Now I will plug this Sony VCR to the TV because I want to show you something. Now it is plugged to my TV, and this Sony VCR sometimes the quality, the picture quality is good, but sometimes there is like a bad contact in the AV output here, and sometimes there is a bad contact in the AV inputs here when I plug something, and sometimes when it's plugged to the TV. So you see, if I move the VCR or if I touch here, I'm just touching the AV inputs. I'm just touching the AV outputs. I mean, the AV outputs, and you see that what's happening on the screen. So there is a very bad contact here, but at least if we don't touch it, there is no problem, and the quality will be good. So now let's insert a cassette in this VCR that has an interesting mechanism. It is very noisy, this VCR too. It is even more noisy than the Sanyo. It has a very good quality, this VCR too. Maybe the head start to be a little bit worn out because it is slightly shaking, but it does not really matter. But what I wanted to show you particularly is this thing. You see the OSD? We cannot remove it without the remote, so this is annoying. You have to have the remote for that you can remove the on-screen display. And I have the remote, so it's not a problem for me. But the batteries all leaked in the remote, so it's not working perfectly. So now let's compare the mechanisms. So you can see that on the 3 VCRs there is the pinch roller goes up and down. So you see in each VCRs, and in all of these 3 VCRs also the head drum motor is on the bottom side. And I know this mechanism and this one exist with a head drum on the upper side, but these are older models. And you can see on this Sanyo, these gears are the ejecting mechanism is operated by these gears. So you see these gears turn, and on the other VCRs it's not the same mechanism. And the Sony it uses a separated motor, which I like. I like this motor that is here. And on this Sony the main loading motor is underneath there. We cannot see it from the upper side. And on this Sanyo, the loading motor is like underneath down there, so we cannot see it from the upper side neither. And as you can hear, the Sony and the Sanyo VCRs are very, very noisy, the mechanism, but they are made like this. And here the tape guides are blue, which is a special. And now let's rewind the tape. Well, let's press rewind. It's not very fast, but it is not bad. No, it is not bad neither. It is pretty slow. Now I am on fast forward, and if I rewind, it is slow. I know the more recent models with this mechanism, they exist that are very fast. I've seen videos of it on YouTube. another thing, you can see that on this Sony VCR, the half loading arm, its shaft is here, and it moves like this, and on the others the shaft is here, and the arm moves like this, you see. And now on this Sony, the normal rewind and fast forward is not very fast, but the high-speed rewind on this Sony VCR is very fast for a VCR of this time. So now let's press high-speed rewind. It will unload the tape. So you can see how it is fast for a VCR of this time. It is a lot less fast than the sharp VCRs, but it is fast. You can see that when it arrives near the beginning, it loads the tape back. And on the high-speed rewind there is no counter, but if I stop the high-speed rewind and I press the normal rewind of fast forward, you can see there is a counter. And this VCR has a really big display here. As you can see, it is big. This VCR is very nice for its time. It has many functions. You can see it has a decibel counter here, and there is the time and the counter. You can see there is both the time and the counter at the same time on the screen. So this is very nice. And that's pretty much it, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.